Evening world. This is Casey Reginald Jr.
It's your man J Dub. I'm back in the building. We back in the building.
This is UnderDawg Sportz. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Casey Reginald Jr., and it has been way too long.
Yeah, we've had a hiatus since April now. So we've gone the whole entire summer and part of the spring, and multiple situations happen in between since we've been on the air last. Uh, it was good to be home. It's good to be back, man.
Absolutely great to be back. It has been a lot going on, and a lot has been our reasons for not coming back any sooner than we are. But what about some impeccable timing as the NFL season starts tomorrow with my defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs against the local Houston Texans. It's going to be a good game, and we will get to the game very, very soon. However, to start off the show, we wanted to kind of go into some detail as to why we've been gone. So I'll tell everybody up front, it was my fault. The world hit me all at once with COVID and a lot of black people getting shot and hunted down, and I didn't feel like talking about sports. And at the time, there was not a whole lot to talk about sports, even though I think we had just had an NFL draft. And we tried to come back several times, honestly, and the timing wasn't right for me. And Justin, I guess you were kind of waiting on me to quit running in the sand.
We'll just say it like this: the hiatus was necessary for you to clear your head. I get that. We were a foursome. Not everybody was ready to come back. I was still on the groove of doing things. I didn't jump ship to try to hop on anything else. Much love to everybody. But during this time between, again, black men getting killed left and right, and unfortunately now it's being seen more than ever. COVID-19 issues, the jackass in the White House, sports at its very minimum. I mean, we still had basketball, but at one point, remember, we didn't have basketball nor anything. The only thing going for us was NASCAR, and even that was controversial for black people. I mean, they had a noose hanging in there, and then the brother had to take a lesson from that, and the president still chimed on him about fucking NASCAR. So it wasn't exactly the easiest time. We did try to do verses. That kept the barbershop type style talking going. And then next, our verses sped off to another world with verses with Swiss Beats and Timberland. I really want to check off of that. But,
right.
Seriously, they use verses next to, I'm like, wait, we was doing it for sports. They do it for music and they getting paid.
And I'm just trying to figure out, who's listening to us so that this happened? Because I got it on tape. We were first, okay?
Exactly. Y'all put a Z. Y'all take out the S and put a Z, and then all of a sudden, y'all safe. I'm like, wait, hold up. Well, I was sitting there listening to some of these verses. I'm a music fan to the day I die. And I'm like, but we was doing verses in sports in February, March, right when this stuff started to happen. So, yeah, this was different.
Let's give them a shout out though. They went old school for this coming versus Patti LaBelle versus Gladys Knight is the next matchup. Yeah, it's before my time.
I was cool with Brandy and Monica. At least that had some type of little.
What you mean you cool with Brandy and Monica? You grew up on that, bro.
They had beef.
I mean,
it was beef, bro.
You grew up on that.
My wife was jamming. Tell my bro. My wife was sitting there jamming.
I was too.
Brandy and Monica. I was okay with that.
Yeah, I was too.
They had some verses that I thought was suspect, but you going with Patty? I'm not paying attention to Patty and Gladys. It's way before my time. I sent the text to my aunt, and then she'll probably have me try to figure out how to get on.
Yeah, and that's what they was talking about on the Breakfast Club this morning. That they all their parents is gonna be calling them trying to figure out how to get. What is Instagram? What channel is it on? That's what they were saying.
That's what it's gonna be. I like they too old for this one, bro. I don't know. This is before me, so I had to pass on this one. Call me when they get back to at least the late 80s.
Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna front. Like, I had trouble finding it the first time I went looking for it, so I can't imagine my mom would just go right to it. Bro, you
always talk about
the
me
same
old,
age as me.
Old.
You the same age as me.
But you act old sometimes. You know it's IG Live. Just like we on Facebook Live is IG Live.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all you had to do. Go on their page. I didn't listen to most of the verses except for 2 Chainz and Rick Ross. I wasn't going to listen to the number 10. But other than that, you know, it was cool.
Bro, I listened to Will Smith and Jada's, what is it called? What's she called?
The entanglement thing?
Her entanglement a lot more than I've listened to verses.
No.
A lot more than I've listened to verses.
I'm not giving August Alsina a pass when he looking like Khalees from the I Hate You So Much Right Now video.
But, bro, they made a meme out of Will Smith. Okay, he's everywhere with that
look. New Jordan face.
Yeah, he's replaced. Yeah, right. He's replaced Jordan's crime.
He's the new Jordan face.
He absolutely is.
It's over.
But serious talk. Yeah, we took off the time because Black Lives Matter. Damn it. And I'm gonna say it, and that's just what it is. They do. If you don't like it, tune out, tune in, find somewhere else. You may or may not hear more of that because the name of this show is UnderDawg Sportz mostly. And every now and again, some things will piss me off in the media, and you're going to remember that it says mostly, and I'm just going to talk. So either you.
So check this out. Me and the missus, because of COVID, we can't go no international trips, so we went local. We went up to San Marcos and kicked it there. New Brunswick, had some time. On the way, all the way through I-10, I seen nothing but Trump signs. I seen a Trump poster that was probably as big as your house. I seen them on electronic poster boards. Ladies and gentlemen, please vote, but don't vote for that jackass. I know he was in Trump company.
He had a very bad day today. He was recorded telling a journalist that he knew COVID was worse than what he was making it out to be. And CNN at Anderson Cooper's show has broadcast that if we had went to mask 2 weeks earlier, 86,000 Americans would be alive right now that are dead. Mm-hmm. This man killed at least 86,000 people because they listen to what he says. But I'm not going to go there, not right now. We're going to talk a lot more about that, unfortunately, because it's election season, folks. But let's get to why we're here. We're here because football is back, and it starts tomorrow. My main man, number 15, the Super Bowl MVP. Can Lamar Jackson say that? Patrick Mahomes leads his Kansas City Chiefs to Arrowhead Stadium to host the team they beat in the divisional round after trailing 24-0 in the first quarter. Your local Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson's fat new contract.
So, question. You keep saying local, but your spouse is behind you who is a Texans fan.
That's fine.
And now that we live, you got to shout out the team. I mean.
Local.
You live in Houston.
Local.
I mean, you in it live because you got that 15 live. I give you that. Yeah. You got the fat contract, highest paid player in the NFL, and actually sports history right now, even though that's going to change in a couple of months. You forgot soccer players get hell of a lot more.
Yeah, they a little bit pissed off right now at that deal.
Yeah, but Ronaldo going to come with that $1 billion contract. It's coming. So just Pat Bounce will just go ahead. You have to put the word American in front of it. But shout out to him. Shout out to the Chiefs. Y'all didn't lose too many pieces. Y'all did pretty good. Y'all kept everybody intact, kept Chris Jones. And
they paid Chris Jones.
After all the talk. So maybe they were listening to you.
Maybe.
Y'all didn't lose anything.
Not worth mentioning.
Kept Kelsey happy. Extended Kelsey's contract, so highest paid tight end right now. Life is good.
Life is all right. Life would be good if we hoist another Lombardi. Yeah, the Chiefs had a good offseason. We're headed into an NFL season where, unlike any other in the history of this game, Arrowhead Stadium is going to seat about 16,000 fans tomorrow in a stadium that seats over 70,000 because of COVID, because of Agent Orange. Our lives have changed probably forever. Justin, how do you think COVID is going to impact the season this year?
This is the question. How long can these guys in this certain situation without being in a bubble not get COVID? Because let's be honest with you, the two sports that are in bubbles right now, which is football and basketball, or basketball and hockey, are working pretty good. No COVID issues or anything. Baseball is doing terrible right now.
Well, I mean, they were doing worse.
Bro, but they've canceled. They still canceling games. They canceled the game last week.
But they were doing worse.
Yeah. The NFL has to take this, like, seriously times 10 because they have the most players out of any of the major sports right now. This is why I didn't play fantasy football this year. Honest to God, truth at first. I didn't put fantasy football for money because you don't know how long the season's going to last.
No idea how long the season's going to last. No idea who's going to get sick when, what crucial time of year. Hell, we could be having playoff games played by Matt Moore as the starting quarterback because of this virus that won't go away. Now we're going to call it the Trump virus because that's what it is. At this point, this is going to be the most bizarre NFL season in our lifetimes, and hopefully it's only one that's like this. Hopefully it's only one. Hopefully we get our world back the way it used to be at some point. They're talking about a vaccine that I won't be taking. Hell no. No, not right now. No.
They want black people first. You heard they're going to put in the inner cities first. Bro. So you know we are in trouble.
No.
All I got to say is Tuskegee experiment.
Well, ain't nobody in my family taking it. So I don't no. Especially if it come out anywhere close to Election Day. Like we were talking about 2 years from now, just 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden because it's political, we got a vaccine. You done lost your political mind. I look like a damn fool. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting season. No one knows what to predict. Fantasy football, yeah, I would not like gambling this season is you have to put your wagers in right before kickoff. Like if you're doing it anytime during the week, you're stupid.
Have you even noticed ESPN? You know, usually they'd have their fantasy football marathon. They didn't even do it this year. But you know how they usually have it for like, I think it's 72 hours or something like that, something crazy like that. Didn't even be touched.
Yeah.
I think everybody's just kind of like on edge trying to figure out what's next that they're not going to – it's just hard to even contemplate.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, I didn't even think about any fantasy so far until, like, yesterday. What, it was at 10 o'clock?
Same.
About 10 o'clock when I said something to you. Yeah. That was the first time I thought about it. Idea just popped in my mind that we'll talk about it a little later. But that's the first time I thought about fantasy. My nephew had been thinking about it. He had texted me, hit me up on Sunday asking when the draft was. Hell, I wasn't drafting. But we'll talk about that a little later. Let's get to the game. Let's get to the kickoff special tomorrow at Thursday Night Football, 7:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Kansas City Chiefs roster mostly intact, hosting the Houston Texans roster that was a divisional round playoff team but had tremendous turnover on their roster. These are two different teams at this point. Kansas City stays status quo. Houston, not so much. Who do you think has an advantage, especially without a real preseason?
Are we really going to ask this question? Come on. The team that it's the team that has the most correlation, the most been with each other the most.
Continuity, chemistry. I know what you're going to do. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
because
too.
Because of COVID, you haven't even had your receivers run a 7-on-7. They've had 7-on-7 until probably maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
As far as the Texans is concerned, you lose to your best receiver. Now, I will say this hindsight: the D-Hop contract that he got yesterday, that he made, quote unquote, made for himself. Now I understand why they traded him, because there's no way in hell I'm paying him $25 million.
I mean, but Tyreek Hill's getting 19? He's not that much better than Tyreek Hill. He's the number one receiver in football.
Tyreek Hill can get cut, and they don't lose dead money. That's the problem. D-Hop gets hurt or feels like he want to retire tomorrow, that money's still his.
Yeah, I mean, I get the insurance, but, you know.
The thing is with the Texans is they have a bunch of new pieces on offense, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be better. I still don't get the getting rid of Carlos Hyde thing, because, I mean, they could have worked Hyde and Johnson into the offense together. It would have probably made a lot more sense, because Hyde is a stronger back, but Johnson can actually catch the ball better. So if they could run an inside-outside thing, it probably would have worked. But Bill O'Brien doesn't want to do that. I don't even know who the third-string running back is at this point. I don't know who the second-string running back actually. I don't know. This is not going to be the game of last year. I don't see y'all keeping your foot on the gas the whole game. It's only week 1, but I don't see the Texans pulling this off as an upset. I guarantee you that. Not with this one.
First off, I don't count anything as an upset on the first game of the season, because you just don't know. The Chiefs, absolutely, you're right. Because of the lack of turnover on their roster, they should have an early advantage in the season. But these teams think they got better. The Texans may have lost the number 1 receiver in all of football. I give you that. But I did tell you at the time that what they put in place, they should be a more balanced offense, because you cannot just depend on that one guy that's going to catch everything, and you shouldn't have to, because you got quality receivers all across the field. You got Brandon Cooks. You got Randall Cobb. Kenny Stills, maybe, if he's not hurt. And still, I guess Will Fuller, but we know he's gonna be hurt. That's not even
like I told you.
question.
Will Fuller's nickname is Spades, because he's always a game and a possible.
I'm just saying that they have the opportunity to be a very dynamic offense, because you cannot key on one player.
But this is the thing I think they're trying to do. I think Bill O'Brien is really now trying to make Deshaun Watson Tom Brady-esque. What I'm saying is Tom's only had maybe 1 or 2 times in his whole career where he's had the absolute go-to guy, and mainly that was Randy Moss. Now you got it. Now he has it where it spreads the ball between Fells and Stills and the rest of these guys, and that's cool. But I still, if I have one of the best receivers in the game right now, probably could go down as all time, I wouldn't have gave him away.
Yeah.
Now you got Kyler Murray, who you're going to probably increase his career.
Bro, he's the happiest man in football.
Man, I mean, shit. I know Russell Wilson sitting there like, y'all should have called us.
I mean, right, for what they gave up.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, like everybody should have been like on that money train. Let's talk about the departures on both teams. Let's start with the Chiefs. What the Chiefs really lost this year, we lost Reggie Ragland. He went to Detroit, and Kendall Fuller. Did he go back to Washington, I believe?
He went back to Washington.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller went back to Washington.
He wanted to play with I think his brother's there too, so I think you got 2 Fuller brothers at the same squad again.
So out of starters, that's all the Chiefs lost in the offseason. Now who they cut recently, they cut former 3rd round or 4th round pick Breland Speaks. He was cut. That was probably the biggest name on the waiver wire for the Chiefs. And going into this game, they will not have the services of Rashad Breeland, suspended for 4 games, and Mike Pennell, suspended for 2 games. So I believe the Texans will be able to take advantage of those key losses, especially considering who's the Chiefs' number 2 cornerback. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I know it, but I can guarantee you have no clue.
Chiefs' number 2 cornerback? No, not really. I don't know.
His name is Rashad Fenton. That's our number 2 cornerback right now because of Fenton. He's pretty decent, but You know,
I like how you said it, decent.
They tried to hide him, and he did well when they hit him, but you can't hide since you're now the number 2 corner because Rashad Breeland does Rashad
Didn't
Breeland
draft
shit.
The corner?
Yeah, like the 4th round, bro.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all did do the gay kid though.
That's a linebacker.
Willie Gay. No, I'm saying, yeah, that's who I was thinking was y'all drafted in 3rd, but that was Willie Gay.
Yeah, they felt like they needed to handle that position because they felt like they can get Breeland for nothing, and they did.
Going with the Texans, they did some moves. Now, I was the first one to tell you before even D-Hop got traded, I didn't like the Laramie Tunsil deal. Getting him paid, although he led the league in false starts and he was second in penalties.
The highest paid left tackle in football.
Yeah.
He wasn't even an all-pro.
Here's the thing. Do I consider him the same threshold as Joe Thomas?
No.
Or anybody of that nature? No.
Eric Fisher. That's what he is.
I wouldn't even give him Eric Fisher.
Whoa.
Eric Fisher didn't have as many penalties.
Well, that's because the Chiefs are a well-coached team.
Well, yeah, that too. But the fact of the matter is when you're thinking about it, you go ahead. If you're 4th and 1, and he goes and gets a false start, now you're 4th and 5. That kills it. That kills your momentum. So you now went from possibly first down to now punt. So he got to catch that in the hand. The kid they drafted the year before last, the kid out of Alabama A&M, is back on the line. I'm just not a big fan of none of the moves the Texans did. Now, them getting Randall Cobb, Cook, you got really, to me, the same player.
And David Johnson.
One's older than the other, but it's really the same player.
Their key additions are David Johnson, Brandon Cooks, and Randall Cobb. Their biggest loss is D-Hop. And I'm just, like...
If this was 2016...
But look at their numbers, though.
This is 2020.
But look at their numbers. If you take both of their numbers...
What was wrong with Hyde?
Oh, well, I can't help you with Carlos Hyde and David Johnson thing.
Your guy got 1,000 yards. He almost made a Pro Bowl. Almost. What was wrong with Hyde when you're going to be slanging the ball anyway? If you're going to go ahead and run this basically run and shoot type offense, you're not really using the running back. And unless you're using David Johnson more as a catching back.
Right. And I think you're speaking to the point that they're making, like, who has a running back that is that ground and pound guy anymore? All these running backs now are versatile. All these running backs can do more than just running between the tackles. And Carlos Hyde ain't that guy. I mean, he's an old school running back, and the league is moving away from that. You see the Jaguars just cut Leonard Fournette, and he's guaranteed his salary.
They cut Leonard Fournette because he was a head case.
I mean, but they paid him.
And he wanted more. He felt he wanted Zeke money.
Well, they're paying him anyway for him to be playing for
Tampa.
For Tampa. So the Jaguars are paying him, but
to go away
to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you're Leonard Fournette, now that you're getting 2 salaries from 2 teams, one of those 2 teams have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and the other one's starting quarterback is Gardner Minshew. I think Leonard Fournette won.
Right.
Like, completely won. So you can call him a head case, but he's a smart head case because he's getting paid from Jacksonville to play for Tampa and getting paid for Tampa to play for Tampa.
And he's only going 3 hours away from where he is originally at, right down the road.
Ain't even got to move. Like, come on. I went from worst to first. Ain't even played a game. Don't even know the playbook yet. Like, you calling him a head case. He's a smart damn head case.
He's probably not even going to start.
So?
He's going to get that check, though. I mean, he is literally put in for 4th and 1 and short yardage situations. That's what they got Leonard for. Tom, no, we don't need – with Tom Brady at the offense, we don't need a real running back. When's the last time they had a real 1,000-yard rusher, like 1,500-yard rusher, something like that? Probably never. Or you got to go back to Corey Dillon.
But if you're Leonard Fournette and You've been ran into the ground early in your career by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you really think he was running to the ground? Because he couldn't stay hurt anyway.
He couldn't stay healthy because
injury prone at LSU.
I get that, and they ran him to hell there too.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, this dude.
I'll give you with the LSU one.
Huh?
I said, no, I'll give you the LSU one.
Yeah, I mean, but early in his career, that's why he was getting hurt. They were giving the ball 40 times a game.
He asked for it.
I mean, yeah, but you got to be a smarter coach than that too. Like, come on, this is the NFL. This isn't college.
But their coach is still with them now to this day, so that tells you a lot about Jacksonville. Side note, I really think Jacksonville's coach owner, he does not care about the team. He's making money from Manchester United.
And AEW and everything else.
He's okay with the Jags being like ninth on his list of getting paid.
I mean, and the people of Jacksonville have not exactly demanded better, so he's raking in money.
Lose the team,
I guess. But what's the point of having a team that you trade all your stars away? They're the Royals of football. Like, you get stars, you trade them all away. And once you trade them away, did you win a championship with them? Nope.
No.
So at least the Royals won a championship. Jeez.
Well,
go ahead.
Back to the Texans.
Right. I was going to say, let's get back to our game and our matchup here.
The moves they made, I really want to see how they change the offense for Deshaun Watson. Because the fact of the matter is when you have – think about it like this. Last year's playoffs, they should have lost to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun kept getting that ball to D-Hop, and D-Hop won them that game with several clutch catches in the fourth quarter and at overtime for them to beat Buffalo. Other than that, they would have been out the first round. Do they have a guy that clutch? Brandon Cook is great. He's a speed guy. He's almost Tyreek Hillish on speed, but is he clutch? Y'all don't have a team that have to worry about clutchness because Patrick Mahomes is clutch within himself, but he really doesn't even have to be that because y'all blowing them out in the fourth quarter. It's like Chicago Bulls back in the day.
But that's what clutch is. You blow them out in the fourth quarter. That's what being clutch is.
No, it's not.
Bro, they were down. Hold on. They were down 20-10 with 6 minutes left. That's not close. That's not clutch.
No, I'm saying y'all don't need to be clutch. That game, yes. Name me another game y'all had to really, really be clutch.
Well,
and I'm done. Moving on.
Wait. In the playoffs or the regular season? Because we can go back to we can go back to the AFC Championship game of 2019 where we're
talking about the last season.
We're talking about clutch. And you just called my guy unclutch because we come back. Like, no. That's the point.
You're getting it twisted. I never said unclutch. I said y'all's team blows him out where y'all don't need for him to be clutch. I'm not saying he's not, because he proved that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But
it didn't even look like a close game when it was done.
Deshaun has to be clutch because the Texans will allow you back in the game no matter what. Name me a game the Texans have really blown out a team and stayed them blowed out, and they're not named the Jacksonville Jaguars or Tennessee Titans.
Well, first off, I take offense to the fact that being down 24-0 in the first quarter in the divisional round and having I find that clutch. Like, come on, dude.
Give you that game.
Yeah, that's clutch to me. We had to come.
We don't have to.
Every game in the playoffs, we had to come back. Having that ability is clutch to me because down 24-0 in the first quarter, how many teams just put their head down and walk away? Down 20-10 in the fourth quarter.
Against the Texans. You keep your head up against the Texans. They'll let you back in.
Down 20-10 in the Super Bowl against the 49ers, who's already celebrated winning the championship with their little pose in the end zone. My favorite moment of the Super Bowl, by the way, because now we can put Jordan crying on all their faces now, and let them celebrate, or at least Will Smith.
On that one,
I want to hear the excuse.
No. Y'all shouldn't have put your heads down because y'all got a team that technically is a running team, and y'all are aerial attack from hell. Y'all can slang that thing, and if y'all don't. The one thing is with the Niners is they have a great D line. They have a good linebacking core. Their corners is ass.
The Chiefs lose the Super Bowl without Damian Williams, so air attack all you want, but the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl without who should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl, Damian Williams. So
I agree with you, but Damian was also catching the ball as well as much as he was rushing.
I got that, but he had over 100 yards rushing too. I'm just saying, like,
give you that.
The Chiefs lose the Super Bowl without Damian Williams. So,
but going back to the Deshaun point, what the thing is with Deshaun is,
will he regress?
He's going to have.
That's what I want to know.
Will he regress?
Will he regress without D-Hop?
You pay Tunsil. Will Tunsil step up to what his contract is? You bring Armstead back, who really wasn't a good draft pick for a first round anyway. He was slated to go fourth, and he went first. You have David Johnson. Can David Johnson get the old David Johnson from 2016 when I had him on fantasy football and didn't know what the hell I was doing, and he damn near won the league for me?
Bro, and then the next year I take him first, and guess what happened?
That was your fault.
My fault.
I took Le'Veon. I knew better. And then the next year I took Le'Veon, and then he sat out the whole fucking season. Learned that lesson.
Bro, I quit drafting any running back that I know ever since Jamal Charles' injury. That's just what happened, okay?
but the thing is with the Texans is you have a butt of what ifs. What if, or no, not even that. You have a bunch of questionables. Can Jamal Charles, you had me saying that. Can Deshaun become his contract? He is the third highest paid player in the league right now, second highest paid quarterback.
How much of that was just off of reputation?
I thought that was pressure. Because you know what?
I mean, he's better than Dak Prescott.
But a lot of people in the media was leaking that Dak was signing this week, and I think the Texans jumped before that. Because supposedly Dak was in talks again with Jerry, and it didn't happen. But that was the work.
But they can't do a contract now. Dallas can't do a contract with Dak. He's under a franchise.
But Dallas can go ahead and have a handshake negotiation in the sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying. They can't do the contract though.
Dak's saying all the great things and doing all the things like he's the yes puppet of Jerry Jones. I can't stand Jerry Jones.
Why? Because he's Agent Orange's friend, or they're the same person.
Did you hear what he said? I think we were talking about it before. He asked the players to go ahead and kneel before the anthem or kneel after the anthem, but not during the anthem.
Screw him,
dude. Just trade me now. You don't want me to be black? Trade me now. There's other teams that won't want me.
I'm so serious. Like, that team. I love football. I love tradition. I've never liked the Cowboys, like ever. Like from the first time that I watched football, I knew I didn't like this team. Now that was when Jerry was the owner, because I was late to the game. But yeah, you cannot buy people's emotions. You cannot buy people's pride. You cannot buy someone's self-respect. Sometimes there's just not enough money. If these players sell out, and that's what I'm gonna call it, if they sell out because Uncle Jerry asked them to, I don't ever want to hear anything from any Cowboy again.
Oh, they will. That's going to happen.
I'm just saying, if they do, the Cowboys going forward, and they've kind of been this way anyway, like, just shut up and play football. All of them. And don't grow a pair when you leave Dallas either. What'd you say?
Zeke got paid because Jerry paid all his fares.
I'm just telling you, don't grow a pair when you leave Dallas either. Like, don't act like Jerry muffled you because you could have spoke up.
Name me one player and then that from Dallas that said anything about BLM, Me Too.
I know, that's what I said. They're pretty much being political already. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to get too far into Dallas because we can spend all day on the Uncle Jerry.
But with Deshaun, the Texans it's a lot of unknowns right now. We got to see how this new unit is going to gel. And if they gel well, then we can really crow. But not named Jacksonville got better.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if the Texans, quote unquote, got better. If they had got better, they should have traded. They should have got rid of JJ by this point. I'll be honest with you. He don't really want to be there, and they're still just paying him just for name recognition.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know if the Texans win the division, and I think if they don't win the division, unless they're going to give Bill O'Brien the COVID excuse. I think they really have to start looking at why they extended him the way they did, because the fans don't like him. Like, let's be completely honest. Bill O'Brien is like the biggest target of every Texan fan. They are waiting for him to fail. I spoke with a Texan fan at work today who is not very high on Deshaun Watson or the contract. So, General Manager Bob, we've already talked bad about him last season. Head Coach Bob, we've talked bad about since, I don't know, he became a head coach, or the first time we met in Cyprus. Like, I think we've been talking about O'Brien's bad coaching since forever. But there's talent on that football team, and they should have balance. I know that they lost a lot with D-Hop, but balance means a lot. Balance is what won the Chiefs the Super Bowl, because they were able to run the ball and throw the ball. The Texans are a dangerous team, and while I do expect the Chiefs to beat them, I still can see them in Indianapolis being neck and neck for the division, but then again, will Phillip Rivers do Phillip Rivers shit?
So here's the thing about Phillip Rivers and no Phillip Rivers shit is, if he starts to fail, at least they have a solid backup with Jacoby Brissett. They have a two-back running game with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack. Now they don't really still have receivers in Indy, but they made moves where the Texans made a bunch of questionable moves, and that's still my only thing. If they made better moves, I'd be more for it. I'm not sold on Phillip Rivers is like he going to go ahead and win the Super Bowl after 17 years
of not being able to do it, right?
Right. So I don't see that happening, but I mean, I think he could possibly do a better job than Deshaun, just off of the fact is he better leadership, and he's going to probably know his team, and they have a better line. The Texans line is still suspect. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
how did y'all beat Deshaun? Y'all made that man run and made a lot of dumbass mistakes. But it's not like it can't happen again.
But I mean, that just means he needs to get better on the run, because they made Patrick Mahomes run too. And he's just better on the run than Deshaun Watson, at least throwing the ball on the run.
Now here's this. Okay, I give you that. But the thing is the coaching style with that. Andy Reid, loves a running quarterback. Bill O'Brien has said he's not liking a running quarterback. He even said himself he would prefer Deshaun to be.
That's
more
why he got rid of Case Keenum.
Right, and that's not you can't do it if you have a bad line. You cannot be in the pocket, or you'll be dumpster juice every time. You'll get shit on every time. That's why Phillip Rivers isn't Charger anymore. He can't run. That's why I'm still understand why they didn't just keep trying with Jacoby. At least he can run.
Yeah. Now, you did mention that Phillip Rivers has a solid backup with Jacoby Brissett. Here's my thing. Do you think the guy's got confidence after being benched for a guy that throws like 100 interceptions a season now? You think he's going to have confidence? Because Rivers didn't make the playoffs either. Rivers had a whole lot more talent than Brissett had around him, and yet they feel like Rivers is an upgrade over Brissett. You don't think that destroyed his confidence, at least with that team?
That's like saying when Steve Young got to the Niners and he had to sit behind Joe Montana, did that destroy his confidence, considering the fact Steve Young was a number one pick and a starter when he was in Tampa? And it was just Tampa was terrible. He actually was pretty good.
But he got traded behind one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. Phillip Brissett Jacoby Brissett was the incumbent who got benched by a guy who has not been one of the top tier quarterbacks for at least 5 years.
Oh, I agree with you. The problem is with this is really two factors. One, a team living off of a Hall of Famer's ideals, because he's going to the Hall of Fame, like it or not. I hate to say it to America, but he's going to the Hall of Fame based off of stats. And two, this town is not really – this is another situation where a town is not ready for a black quarterback.
What?
It makes me nervous with that.
Whoa.
It's not. Indy is not ready for that.
Well,
bro.
they had
I'm
one.
sorry.
He was there last year. He was their starting quarterback. They had to get over it.
They wanted him gone from day
Oh,
one.
yeah.
They wanted him gone.
And just like a lot of Texans fans would prefer Deshaun Watson not be Deshaun Watson and be more like, I don't know, Billy Watson. But that's what they got. And you put the best player. You're supposed to put the best players on the field that give your team the chance to win.
Totally agree. I mean, these Boston people going to eat crow when Cam Newton starts shitting.
Yeah,
this ain't a temporary thing with Cam.
Bro, I hope it is, because I think he's gonna be called the N-word, and I don't, that's not a good place for him. Like
it's not.
He's gonna have bad games.
Rebuild his career.
I mean, he's gonna have a great season.
Yeah,
but you think
he'll probably leave? He's not gonna stay.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you think the Patriots are gonna pony up the dough if he has the season that he should have with Belichick?
Cam won't mess around and go back down south. Where down south, I have no idea.
Well, if Drew Brees retires.
Very true.
Yeah,
very good.
If Drew Brees retires.
Or if Atlanta's smart and gets rid of Matt Ryan finally.
You mean the NFC's version of Phillip Rivers?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, I did that, didn't I? Nah, we can't give him that. We can't give him that one because he's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah, I was good. That's why I was taking it back. That's why I was taking it back.
Jackson's Megatron's been gone.
Okay, we got to figure out who's in it. Okay, then who is the AFC's Matt Ryan in? Dun dun dun. I don't think they have one.
I don't think they have one right now.
Not right now. No, I don't think they have one.
But after this year, if he don't pan out, I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield.
What about Josh Allen?
Nah, because the jury's still out on him. He's only on year 3.
Okay, what's the Jets quarterback? Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is the new Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez made it to an AFC Championship game. Hell no.
Sanchez went. Yeah.
Hell no. Sam Darnold ain't even been to the playoffs. No. Bubby Brister.
Wow.
like for real. Like you did that, man. You disrespected Sanchez because he made it to an AFC Championship game. He inherited the actual era of Patriot goodness or greatness, and he didn't have a chance. So for him to make it to the AFC Championship game during when the Patriots were the actual Patriot, hell no. Sam Darnold is garbage. Bubby Brister ish. Give me. I can't remember.
Every quarterback that comes out of USC.
Yeah, well, we always talk about that. Yeah, absolutely. But
I'm not drafting USC quarterback in the first round.
We can call him Matt Leinart.
No.
Why not?
Matt Leinart came in with way too much hype.
Okay, and Darnold didn't.
Matt Leinart was expected to be the next John Elway, and we knew better.
But they tried to make Darnold out to be the next what's his name? The quarterback. No. The old Jet, the Italian guy, the Super Bowl champ.
Joe Namath.
Willie Joe. Yeah, they tried to make him out to be the next Joe Namath. So
he knew better than that.
I mean, but it's New York. First off, if New York drafts a quarterback in the first round,
the last quarterback in the Jets era, in our years is only I can only say is Chad Pennington.
Chad was solid, but that was Herm Edwards' team, and he was just solid, is what he was.
Right.
Yeah, he was solid.
The Rex Ryan year with Sanchez, okay, I'll give you a pass. Yeah, he didn't make it to the AFC Championship.
And he was in the midst of Patriot greatness. Period. Like in the same division with them.
But as soon as he left the Jets, he went to obscurity. He went to the Cowboys. It was a backup, and then that's all she wrote.
Listen, but still, who gives a crap? What's Darnold doing? Losing. Bad. With no sign of progression.
They need to blow up that whole team. Like Le'Veon don't want to be there. The coach don't want Le'Veon. The
No. First off, that coach don't have the right to want anybody. He should never have gotten that damn job.
I agree with you. how do you lose? You come from a losing situation and get hired to go to another losing situation.
And Eric Bieniemy's still an offensive coordinator. I just don't understand.
Well, even go back that far. Todd Bowles almost made the playoffs that year. They went 8-8, and the year before he went 6-10, and they still fired him for this guy that didn't make the playoffs at all. Still to this day, at least Todd Bowles with an injury-plagued team and a bunch of basically replacements. You talk about Eric with Bilal Powell and Matt Forte that was on his last wheels, and they still went 8-8. Still dealing with the Patriots. So I'm like, you fired the brother. Y'all was waiting to fire that man.
So all I'm going to say about the Jets is they've been obscure. I think the last time I remember really took the Jets as a threat, and even when they had the success with Sanchez or
when it was Sanchez and Revis Island on defense.
Even back then, I didn't take them serious. Like I haven't taken them serious since Dennis Byrd got paralyzed in the middle of a Chiefs game, and I'm being completely honest. I haven't taken them serious since then.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't taken the Jets serious since then. Even when they went to the AFC Championship game, I just knew the Jets were gonna F it up. It's the Jets. Like they are the Raiders of the AFC East.
That was their best chance because they had good running back. They had a solid running back, and they had two hell of a receivers that they traded the next season in Decker and Marshall, which I still don't understand to this day. But that's what the Texans are going to start looking like if they don't get their shit together.
If they don't get rid of their head coach, like they have to get rid of Bill O'Brien.
Here's the problem. Does he get – you do realize Bill O'Brien is now –
the general manager.
No, he's also third or fourth longest tenured coach right now.
And what has that gotten the Texans?
Nothing. But it's Belichick, Tomlin. I'm missing somebody, and then O'Brien.
So this is year 4 of Deshaun Watson, right?
Correct.
Year 4.
And O'Brien
as a starter.
The Schaub days.
Yeah. This is year 4 for Deshaun Watson as a starter. He only had season 1 with some injury problems. And the furthest you've advanced is the furthest you had advanced back in the Schaub days. It's either the coach or the quarterback. That's what I'm saying. And the quarterback can still get better. Can the coach?
Here's the thing. It's the coach because you inherited a team that had a Pro Bowl quarterback in Matt Schaub. People hate to say it, but Matt Schaub was decent for the Texans. He was a lot better than people give him credit for. He was just never going to be that guy in the division because he was in the division with Peyton Manning. But Schaub was good.
He wasn't good.
Schaub.
He was okay.
He was.
He was all right.
He 3 straight Pro Bowls. Yeah, give him his due.
Okay, but wait. Wide receivers make a big impact. And he had Hall of Fame receivers.
Right, I give you that.
Okay,
but
so
as of right now, you don't have a Hall of Fame. You traded the Hall of Fame.
Well, that goes back to the same thing I started the segment with: is they got to get rid of Bob.
But here's the thing: most coaches. This isn't the NBA. Most football players got to get rid of that. Most football coaches cannot be GMs. Jeff Fisher was horrible at it.
Andy Reid was horrible at it.
Andy Reid was bad. No, Andy Reid was not.
Yes, he was.
Bad.
Yes, he was. He was because he was too stubborn. He was too stubborn to be general manager and head coach because at that point nobody could tell him to do what to do with his staff, and he had a damn offensive line coach as the defensive coordinator.
Well, even worse than that, you had Marty Morningwig on your staff as your offensive coordinator. Remember, he's the only coach in NFL history to go 0-16.
You say that, but he was a head coach before. I mean, I'm saying you had an offensive line coach coaching and being your defensive coordinator. That means he draws up the schemes for your defense. An offensive line coach. Like, come on. It's just
he knows the line. He's going to know whatever. Either way, it's not working out, and that's why I'm like, yeah, you can't do both.
Yeah,
it didn't work. It didn't work for Mike Shanahan when he got to Washington.
Listen, Andy Reid came to Kansas City, relinquished the GM duties, and he won his first Super Bowl.
Bill O'Brien trying that now. He needs to, but I don't see it happening. He's too buddy-buddy with the owner. So I don't see him. I don't really see, unless they implode, I don't see him getting fired.
And at this point, because of the contract, Deshaun Watson is going to be a choir boy. and he's gonna love Bill O'Brien. He love that. I don't want to
had
play
an
for
article.
anyone else.
Yeah, ESPN already had an article talking about Deshaun, no holding back. It's his team now.
Bro,
it's been your team for years.
Right, for 4 years. This is year
Right.
4 of
Not
this
just-
being your team.
Yeah,
Also,
this has been your team since basically your rookie year. This is you command this team, bro. So I don't know where you talk about, oh, you wasn't the star, or you wasn't the, like, a wide receiver is not going to tell a quarterback what to do.
so
I'm just saying.
this is how I feel about this. And I don't want to. I'm going to say something controversial, and I really don't give a damn. Houston Texans fans are going to come at me. Deshaun Watson's a sellout, period. And you'll see why he's a sellout, and I'll let you pay more attention to him being a sellout. But just because a man pays you doesn't mean he gives you the best opportunity to win championships. You see the progress made by the quarterbacks drafted with you or after you, and you're still stuck in neutral. At some point, if you want to be that guy, if you want to be on the level that your contract says you are, you need to get from under the thumb of a coach that's holding you back. So, to me, he's a sellout in just that way. And I feel like he's a sellout in other ways, but I'm going to leave that alone for now.
You did say controversial. Now, we can agree to disagree on this one. I don't think he's a sellout necessarily, but he did do a lot of talking during the beginning of the offseason, especially his little memes about going to, right after D-Hop got traded, talking about New England, and he had the picture of him in the New England outfit, so on and so forth. So was it him venting about trading his best weapon, or was this venting about, I need a new contract? And realistically speaking, I need a new contract before Patrick Mahomes gets his, which you can't, because Patrick Mahomes is now the new bar. So if he was complaining about getting a new contract,
is he in that conversation?
What?
Like in that top 5 conversation?
No.
And
top 5 right now?
Yeah.
At his age?
No. Not at his age. Is he one of the top 5 quarterbacks in football right now?
Pat.
Hell, you have to say Lamar because he won an MVP.
Pat, Lamar, Russ, Drew, even at his age. I'm gonna have to say this, TB12.
Yeah.
Because now he has weapons.
I mean, it's what it is. I mean, it is what it is.
Then wait, hold on. Number 6, I'm gonna say Cam. Because a healthy Cam is still one of the most dangerous players in the NFL.
I agree, but a healthy Cam is a question mark, so I don't know that we can put him at 6 until he shows us that he's a healthy Cam. 2015 was 5 years ago, and that's a long time in football.
Yeah. I give him 6 then.
Okay. 6. Let's go down the list. In the West, hell no. I'm in the NFC West. No. Kyler Murray's not there yet. NFC,
definitely not Goff.
NFC South, you already called Breeze. You already said TB12. We definitely not saying Matt Ryan.
And definitely not saying Teddy.
Teddy,
not yet.
No. Let's go NFC North. No.
He don't want to sold out too. He could have waited a little longer, but he took that job immediately.
Cousins, no. Stafford, no.
Hey, wait, hold up.
Hold up, what? You bet not. Don't
Cousins,
you do it. No.
Yes.
Yes. We're talking about taking steps.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
He's put up numbers.
I don't care about
You cannot deny the man. You may. We both.
Wait. You're saying Kirk Cousins is better than Deshaun Watson at quarterback right now? I want you to say this. Wow. Yes, now I thought I said something controversial.
Deshaun.
Wow.
I'm gonna give you that right now.
Wow. I'm going back through my list. Kirk Cousins, no. Stafford, no. Aaron Rodgers is definitely better than Deshaun Watson, so we did skip one. He moves now to 7. Chicago, no. Trubisky, no. Let's go out. went north, south. We need to go east. No, Giants, no. Dak, no. Give me the other East team.
Haskins, no.
Redskins, no. If Alex Smith was healthy, he might give Deshaun a run for his money. But I really don't want to see Alex play again. I'm glad he can walk and go out there and run around, but I don't ever want to see him getting tackled again.
He'll be in a game. I'm going to guarantee you that.
Bro,
Watch.
He's got bone still. His bone is still showing.
I know. They're going to put him in the game, though.
Hell no.
I'm going to guarantee you that.
Better not do that. Like I'm happy he's able to walk, and please don't play Alex. Alex, no. Washington, hell no. So let's go AFC. AFC East. Cam, that's a question mark. Fitzpatrick / Tua, no, not yet. East. Darnold, no. Allen, no. North, Roethlisberger, maybe 5 years ago. Baker Mayfield, no. That was Cleveland. Cincinnati's new quarterback.
Burrow,
no.
Bro. No. And then we already said Lamar.
Right. So Lamar definitely. But that's not.
So right now he's trending 6.
I'm saying 7. You put Kirk there. You put Kirk in front of him, and then I said Aaron Rodgers 7. Well, Aaron Rodgers 6, Kirk 7. I'm not gonna disrespect Aaron Rodgers that way. So
I agree with you.
So we're looking at 8, but we're not done yet. We went AFC East, AFC West. We got obviously.
So we've done pretty much the whole NFL. I don't know who else we could put up.
Raiders, no.
No.
Chargers, no.
We already said Pat. Pat's number 1.
AFC South, no. Yeah. So 8. He's 8. 8th best, according to you. I say 7. I'm not disrespecting Deshaun Watson like that and putting Kirk Cousins. I am not. I am not putting Kirk Cousins ahead of Deshaun Watson. No. Neither one of them have been very good in the playoffs. So, no.
Deshaun Watson last year, 3,852, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 70.5 QBR. Kurt, 36, 26, and 6.
Well, that's yards.
Sorry, bro.
A more conservative coach.
Rushing yards.
More talented receivers. Because you had more than one. Because you had more than one. So no.
No, last year you had one.
Well,
Thielen was hurt all the time. You had one. You had Diggs, and he ain't throwing Diggs in the first place.
I'm just saying.
You had a better tight end.
Neither one of these guys have been very good in the playoffs. I'm going to say the younger guy is better in this case because I've seen the older guy a lot more, and I know what the older guy is. So I'm sorry, my eyes tell me. I'm just saying my eyes.
Slightly.
The eye test tells me that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback. That's what my eyes tell me.
The clutch factor, is sad to say, is going to Cousins.
There is no clutch factor with either of them. No. No.
The miracle. Yes.
No.
That was clutch.
The miracle.
That was clutch.
It's a miracle. That wasn't clutch. It's a miracle.
He had a couple clutch ones in DC. I don't want.
What, at 8-8? As he threw, he was 8-8. 8-8. You can't be clutch when you're 8-8. What are you clutching? Pearls?
I'm saying it worked out. He went to the playoffs regardless.
I'm just saying. Nah. My eye test tells me that Deshaun Watson is. No, that I won't even. No, we can't entertain that. This is UnderDawg Sportz, not stupid sports. Kirk Cousins.
That's stupid.
You want him to play for the Steelers?
No.
Oh, okay. But would you want Deshaun Watson to play for the Steelers? Lie. Where's your integrity?
I want Cam Newton.
Nah, that ain't what I asked. No, but
I need a big quarterback.
So you're telling me you would not want Deshaun Watson? If
Oh,
Bi-
no, I'll take it.
oh,
So,
wait.
one
So,
right there.
so I'm gonna ask
ahead.
you, Deshaun Watson or Kirk Cousins to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Kirk Cousins.
You just saying that because you know I'm right. There's no way in hell you would pick Kirk Cousins for the Steelers over Deshaun Watson. No way. I don't know what is in that juice. I don't know what's in that juice, but it's some good shit because I know better than that. I'm not falling for it. Speaking of contract.
If we were going to be honest, Deshaun because of his mobility. Deshaun because he is a leader in clutch.
I ain't falling for it.
I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins had better stats over the last 2 seasons. That's the only reason why I said Kirk over Deshaun. But if the playing field was smart and we had two of the same, if Adam Zimmerman is definitely a better coach than Bill O'Brien. We can both agree to that.
I was about to say, let me flip that script on you real fast. I understand what you're saying statistically, but I want to ask you one question. Do you think Zimmer would have won a championship or been in the Super Bowl if he had Deshaun Watson versus Kirk Cousins with all that talent?
So, here's my thing. I'm telling you this now. The only reason I'm picking Kirk is because the fact of the matter, Bill O'Brien holds back Deshaun Watson. When you talking about he being too much of a choir boy, this is my choir boy problem. Deshaun Watson is falling into that Russell Wilson when he first got to Seattle thing. He's doing all the things the coaches is telling him to do, even though he doesn't want to do it.
Well, let me tell you something.
Man is a natural scrambler.
I get what you're saying, but Deshaun Watson's receivers didn't call him out in public. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm
not a Kirk Cousins fan. Don't get it twisted.
I'm just saying, if Minnesota's coach had Deshaun Watson, he at least would have been in the Super Bowl.
But I will say this: if Stephon Diggs don't get the ball in Buffalo right now, you don't think Josh Allen's going to be called out?
Deuces.
Thank you.
But their offense is crap. Anyway, I want to get to the other contract that you kind of mentioned earlier, the 10-year deal for Patrick Mahomes. I think it's it could be up to $503 million over that contract's life. With his new money, he invested in a small percentage of the Kansas City Royals, becoming the youngest owner in professional sports, the first minority owner at that age in professional sports. And he's become the face of the National Football League's Black Lives Matter and Vote movement. This is the other reason I was calling Deshaun Watson the sellout, by the way. Because Patrick Mahomes didn't wait till he started getting paid to start speaking out.
You can't say that because Deshaun was marching. Deshaun was down there. He was down there with the George Floyd protest. He did articulate himself. Remember, he's the one out. Him and D-Hop were on this thing to get all the statues at Clemson taken down because they were all referencing to former slave owners.
But bro, didn't he go to Clemson and wasn't no statues up when he was in Clemson? Did he say anything when he won them a national championship?
Yes man then.
I mean, but when he won them a national championship and he had a platform,
you're not going to be that platform while you still under scholarship, brother. And if you're getting paid under the table, which I'm pretty sure Clemson players was getting under the table. The only thing I would say
you think all the powerhouses get paid under the table? Well, listen.
Time out. I know when they get paid under the table. Trust me. It was just Bush just got caught because he's a fucking idiot. But most of these powerhouse schools, they get paid under the table. Their parents got new jobs that they can't even spell. Their dad gets out of prison early, stuff like that. It happens.
I got you. Well, we have to get back on task as we wrap up here. Chiefs versus Texans tomorrow, 7:20 Central Standard Time. It's an opportunity for the Texans to get revenge against the Chiefs. It's an opportunity for the Chiefs to demonstrate that they are that team that can be the first to repeat in more than 15 years. Who you got?
Why are we going to ask this question, really? It's the Chiefs.
Okay, what's your score?
Okay. 38-17.
38 points in the first game, and the Chiefs only give up 17 with like one corner.
38-7.
I'm going. The final score is 43-41. Chiefs win with a last-second field goal. Again, we got one cornerback out there. One cornerback.
The Texans are going to jail. We got to see what's going to happen.
I'm just saying one cornerback. The Chiefs got to jail because we only got one cornerback.
Second highest point. The next highest score game since y'all played the
Rams. That's right. And nobody can tackle because they haven't been able to tackle in training camp. I'm going 43. I'm going 43-41 Kansas City Chiefs in the thriller in Thursday night football, NFL's first game in the new COVID era. And since we got our predictions in, we want to talk a little fantasy football.
Let's get it.
All right, so we said we were going to talk about it on the air, so let's talk about it on the air. You want to do how many teams?
10.
All right, so when you want to do a draft? Because I want to do a draft before the kickoff, but Justin said he got ish to do. So we're going to lose, like, the best quarterback in football stats or know the stats before we pick.
Yeah, that's all it is. But, I've done fantasy football after the kickoff before, so you don't lose that quarterback that plays. Trust me, I've done it before.
So we're going to draft Friday at what time?
8 o'clock. Let's try that time.
Friday at 8 o'clock, we will be drafting the UnderDawg Sportz Fantasy Football League. Justin will have a team. Casey Reggie Jr. will have a team. I'm pretty sure I know a couple other people that's why I said we might want to go more than 10, but I understand how oversaturated it'd be.
We're going to have like the third man on the bench as your starting running back. That's why I hate it. I've been in the 16 league. I don't like it.
So we're going to start with 10. If we fill up 10, maybe we can do a second one and draft on pregame Sunday. But we'll see how the 10 fills out on Friday. You want to actually be live when we do the draft? We
can.
Up to you.
I say let's live for the first couple of rounds. If it gets long, because some
people and especially if people aren't there, then that really makes it shitty. So the UnderDawg Sportz Fantasy Football League, we're gonna do ESPN.
No,
I don't know how to do Yahoo.
Fine, we'll go NFL Network. We are not doing.
Okay,
ESPN.
I can do NFL Network. I did that. So we'll be on the NFL Network. We'll be on the NFL Network Fantasy Football League. We'll be sending out those invites or making them public for the first several people to show up after we do our who we got to deal with invites. Until then, we will see you Friday at 8 o'clock. I'm Casey Reginald Jr.
It's your man, J-Dub in the building. Also, shout out to the late Chadwick Boseman. Wakanda forever, man. Rest in peace, baby.
Rest in peace, Chad. Wakanda forever. I'm Casey Reginald Jr. This has been UnderDawg Sportz.